Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Gurbani teaches us that we have choices that we can make in this life, and that those choices that we make will determine whether we prosper and feel happy and light, or whether we want to fall into a pit of depression, of anger, of negativity. And that is the balance of life. Gurbani teaches that when we have that balance within ourselves and we find that balance, then we can live a life where we can feel that there is a freedom, where we can feel that there's a vastness to ourselves, and when we feel that there is a depth of connection between ourselves within and God. And what is God? God is that which generates, organizes, and delivers. And that is what our gurus teach us, that everything that exists was generated, created by a creator, who created us as a creation, to live, to understand, and to be happy in this life. But why do we not feel happy? Why do we make those choices in this life that don't bring us that happiness? We see today that there's so much negativity, that generally people are not happy. It's rare to find. Yet those who vibrate the Nam, who trust in God and Guru, who practice our teachings, they find that happiness. In this life, Guru Gobind Singh Ji taught us that the courage that we bring to living is what brings us fulfillment. That the courage that we bring to this life is what's most important. It's not just what we say or what we think. It's not just how we can show ourselves outside. It's the balance of what we feel inside of ourselves and how we act in this day-to-day life. That is why we read our pot, we read our hymns, to give us that balance of understanding, to bring us into that feeling that we're part of the vastness of God, that we can feel that we shall be delivered into our tomorrow with peace, prosperity, happiness, and light. And we have to keep an open heart. That courage comes from that open heart. Guru Nanak Dev Ji said to us that if you don't see that light that lives in the heart of every soul, then we're blind. If we don't see God in all, then we don't see God at all. So we have that choice to make. Do we want to live to blame and complain? Or do we choose to live in the light of our Guru's teachings? Guru has given us a way of living that we can work with, be with, and grow with. That is the power of Waheguru. The fundamental essence of that truth within us, and to understand how we're part of the vastness of this universe, Guru says simply, Bhavan Guru, Panipita, Mata, Darta, Mahata. Bhavan Guru, Panipita, Mata, Darta, Mahata. What is Bhavan? Bhavan is that Pran. It's a breath that we take. Bhavan Guru means that with that breath that vibrates in us, we experience our light. What happens if there's no breath within this physical body? We don't exist. We lose the physical form. So Bhavan Guru means that that Pran, that energy, that pranic energy or life force energy within each of us is generated through our breath. But are we conscious of our breathing? There's a saying that we say that if our breath is shallow, then our life becomes shallow. When we vibrate Vaheguru Nam Simran, when we read Pat, that breath, that Bhavan, that pranic energy within us, the Pran, becomes regulated, becomes naturally within our own rhythm. This we have to understand. In our Guru's teaching, we learn about the rhythm of our heart, the rhythm of our breath, the rhythm of our existence. That is why Gurbani is sung. It's all within that rag. Gurumukhi itself the language, the traditional language of our teachings, is sound current. That sound current has a direct relationship to our breathing. And by regulating that breathing through the sound vibration of the Shabad, we feel uplifted and we feel balanced. Panipita means that water is the Father. What is that water? Water is that which sustains us. If we don't drink that water, then what happens to our bodies? And what is the Father? Father is that stability, that which gives a guidance. So Panipita means that water is that sustainer of life, that water is that which gives us the stability. Mata Dharta Mahata. And that this mother is our earth. And what is mother? The primal sound current of mother is Ma. That vibration of that which gives life. Mata Dharta Mahata. The mother, the female, a woman gives that life. We say in our teachings, there's no man who was not born of a woman. And this earth is the mother, because the mother sustains. And in the physical life, the mother gives the psyche of understanding, because that is the power of a woman. Guru Nanak Dev Ji talks about a woman being that which sits next to God. And we say Kar, that princess in the divinity of the light of God. So here are three basic elementary understandings that can bring us that peace. And it was given to us very simply, that the breath is the breath of life, that the water is that which keeps us, and that Mother is the sustainer and the balance of all life. And yet we don't always understand the essence of those teachings. And when we don't understand that, which was given very simply, when those choices that we make do not serve those teachings, then we say we're confused. Why should there be any confusion? Guru has given us the exact formulas, the exact way of life, the exact living principles to carry us through, so there's no confusion. We only become confused when we forget about God. We forget about our very essence and our very nature, when we stop practicing that which gives us the life force. And when that practice stops, then how do we maintain ourselves in life? Within our Sangats, we know that we have to teach the experience of Simran, the experience of Khalsa, not just the words, but the living experience. The Sikh faith is a faith of experience. It's a faith of action. It's not just a simple religion, but our gurus have taught us to live in a way of life that can exalt us within ourselves and exalt everyone around us. That is the key of understanding of these teachings, in my belief. That when I came upon these teachings and adopted them as my way of life, was because that way of life was the only thing that I could find that could give me that balance. And that the love of Guru in my heart would open me. Not that mistakes aren't made, not that we're not human beings, not that we don't, each of us face problems. That's life. What is life? Life is a test and a trial. To what? To triumph, to win it. And we're faced and challenged every single day inside of ourselves. We're faced by the environments in which we live, our work structures. We're challenged by the very nature of weather, of living on this earth. But our gurus teach us that it is the choices that we make that will determine whether we're successful or whether we fall into that pit of stress and depression and negativity. It's all a matter of choice. When that breath within us is strong and we feel it deeply within, when we understand the very nature of God in our existence, which the gurus have taught to us, and most importantly, when we practice Panjbaniya, when we read Pat, read our hymns, when each and every day we meditate, we vibrate the Naam, then Vaheguru, 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 Vaheguru lives in every breath that we take. That is the power of Nam Simran. Nam Simran means that 24/7, 24/7, that vibration is within us. It never leaves, no matter what state we're in. And when that constant vibration of that Simran is within us, then truly peace will come to us and our heart shall be open in this experience. The power of our meditative mind, the power of the vibration of Nam Simran, the remembrance always of God is the truth that we live. Our fifth Guru, Guru Arjan Dev Ji, wrote in Sukhmani Sahib, Prabhke Simran Rida Siddhanonid, Prabhke Simran Gyan Dhyan Tatabud. Prabhke Simran. That when we meditate on the vibration of the name, of God's name, then all those treasures shall come to us. All that we desire in life shall be given. Prabhke Simran Gyan Dhyan Tatabud. That all knowledge and that power of that meditation shall give us that consciousness. Very simply. That is the power of Gurbani, to open us, to open doors sometimes when we think every door is closed and nothing will be good and we get into that stress and that depression of life. Guru says, remember. Remember the name of God. Remember your tomorrow. Don't get stuck in what you think is happening today. That there is a way through everything. And that is a key understanding of this age. When we understand and hold deeply Guru's teachings, Guru says, there shall be a way through everything. Everything. Even when that most difficult problem sometimes affects us. Even when we think there's no way through this or out of that, Guru says there's always a way through. And how do we find that way through? Guru says by meditating on God's name, by vibrating the Shabad, through devotion, through giving up of one's own ego to the vastness of creation. And that ego will only serve us when we're clear. Ego isn't something that's bad and that we can get rid of. No, ego lives in every one of us. But if it serves just that personality of what we think we should be and have to be and pretend to be, then that ego will always get us into trouble. But if ego serves our devotion, serves that divineness of life, if ego serves our meditative mind, if that seva is in our consciousness of giving up of oneself, then that ego flows within us and we prosper. This universe has a vastness. It is said that every knowledge of every understanding is attained through meditation. In our Siddhi Guru Granth Sahib, in our scriptures, Guru says clearly that to those who meditate on God's name, everything shall be. Every knowledge shall be known. That there's no unknown in life. That the known shall be known. And that the seen, the unseen, can be seen. And how is that possible? How is the unknown known to us? And how is that unseen seen in us? It is felt through the vibration of the Nam. As we vibrate, this human body has a vibration. And this universe has a vastness. And Guru is that pipeline or that conduit from each of us in this human form to the vastness of consciousness, of universal truth, of Paramatma, of the infinite soul. That is my understanding, is to always have a completion within me that relates first physically in this what we call finite form as I exist, and that which is infinite, which is also me that exists within inside of me, that there's no separation. Our teachings teach us that there's no separation within us between ourselves and God. When we feel there's a separation, then that creates what we call the duality. There becomes a gap within us. As that gap grows where we feel that we're separated from God or separated from our own infinity, the vastness of our mind and consciousness, when we feel limited within ourselves, which comes through being physically uptight, physically unfit, not eating properly, not meditating, when we don't practice these teachings, or our teachings, then how do we expect to feel a happiness, to feel a connection? Happiness comes through that connection to the universal self, through the finite self, through your soul to Paramatma, through your Atma to Paramatma, the infinite soul. And that's what we call consciousness or awareness. Spirituality, being spiritual in life, is nothing more than constantly feeling that you are connected to your vastness, that there's no limitation, that there's no separation. Gurbani vibrates within us to create that balance. Gurbani is the pathway to the greater self. And then we can live that happiness. We say to live in Guru's Kirpa, to live in Guru's will, to let the divine answer to us. When we do the Matta Take, when we bow our heads in front of our Guru, when we bring this forehead to the floor, it reminds us that we've given this life to that essence. We've given our life so that we can prosper and grow and be happy. And that's all that we want in this life, is to find happiness. The birthright of every human being is to be happy. And we have that urge to merge. We want to be part of something. And we have a deep longing. Every human being has a deep longing to belong, to be part of something. That is our very nature. And Guru has given us these teachings to bridge, to make a bridge to that gap, to bring us into the oneness of our consciousness. That is the power of Ekonkar. Ekonkar simply means that God and me and God are one. That there's no separation. God and me and God are one. Ekonkar, Satanam, Satanam. It is our privilege at Insight into Sikhism to share with you simple teachings and the simple truths which we have been taught. It's not difficult to live in this life, but we make it difficult. We don't have a problem in life, we create problems in life. And that's a tragedy sometimes. That if we don't have a balanced mind, then we create within ourselves a discomfort. And if you feel stressed out, if you feel very negative, if you feel depressed, it's because inside of you, you don't live the vastness of what your truth is. And a simple remedy for that is to vibrate the Nam, to meditate on God's name. Meditation is a power that can uplift the human spirit. We say Cherdikala. Cherdikala means that uplifted spirit, that exalted spirit within us. And we say Nanakanam, Cherdikala, Teribani, Sarvattabala. We say in the name of Nanak, we call upon Guru Nanak. Nanakanam, in the name of Nanak, Cherdikala. May everyone be exalted. May the spirit be exalted. May all people understand the oneness of God. And may every single person prosper by God's grace. That is a simple teaching that's universal, that can be given to everyone. And we are nothing more than ambassadors of that spirit. What is Khalsa? Khalsa is an ambassador of Cherdikala, an ambassador of the upliftment of the spirit of all humanity, through Seva, through Simran, through Bani, and through Bana. 4 basic pillars of our life. To share with others, to give to others, to go within inside of ourselves through the Bani, to meditate through the Simran on God's name, and to be distinctive so that others shall know who we are. And when we can serve this life and this service to humanity in a simple way, to stand for the rights of every human being. In this world we live in, there are many changes. And our prayer is simple. Our prayer is that peace prevail upon this planet, that we don't have to live in the fear of wars of any kind, and that peace shall come when peace resides within each and every heart. Peace will not happen through war. Peace will happen when each and every one of us has an open heart and a tolerance to each other. And that is the power that has been gifted to us. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Vaheguru, 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 Vaheguru.